This is the YouTube edition of my book, A Course in Miracles Workbook Nuggets, which is a study aid for the course's workbook for students. I'll begin by reading my book's commentary on today's lesson over a visual of the book's text. I'll then return with some further thoughts on the lesson, which are only included in this YouTube edition of my book. Today's lesson is part of a 10-lesson group, which goes from lesson 251 through lesson 260, each of which relates to sin as understood in the course. I'll be repeating the same introduction for each of lessons 251 through 260, so you can skip past this introduction in the future if you like. Timestamps taking you directly to today's Workbook Nuggets commentary and my further comments are provided in the description below. In the section entitled, What is Sin?, which precedes these 10 lessons, we are told that sin is insanity and that there is no sin. The point here is that sin is part of the illusion, a very important and cunning part. If you escape the illusion, you escape its many so-called sins as well. There can be no sin in the love and oneness that we are being trained to see. Obsessing over the so-called sins of yourself and others only keeps you here in the illusion. Don't take the bait. Wake from the illusion and be free. As the introduction to these 10 lessons, all dealing with sin, tells us, quote, "The Son of God made clay, he has become a body, prey to evil and to guilt, with but a little life that ends in death. But all the while, his Father shines on him and loves him with an everlasting love, which his pretenses cannot change at all." End quote. Today's lesson from my book and my further thoughts, which are contained only in this YouTube edition of the book, follow. A link to the book on Amazon.com is provided below. Lesson number 254, September 11. Let every voice but God's be still in me. Enlightenment is not figuring something out. It is more escaping than achieving. It is escaping the definitions and accepted assumptions, the, quotes, voices, that are always at work in your mind. Those voices determine your interpretation of the world you see. You are currently trapped in an enormous web of those definitions and assumptions. Let them all be still. Allow yourself to consider that there may be another reality existing just beyond your day-to-day interpretation of life and the world. If you allow yourself to realize that you are myopically focusing on a limited reality, your Father will do the rest. God is an eternal presence existing all around you. Give him the smallest opening and his knowledge will come rushing in. The amount only limited by the size of the opening you permit. The title of today's lesson is Let Every Voice But God's Be Still in Me. What are the other voices? Well, the main one is the voice of your ego. The one that sees the world and everyone in it from the narrow perspective of your small and limited life here in the illusion. We all know that voice. It is constantly asking, what's in it for me? It always wants more, and it doesn't particularly care about the consequences to anyone else. But the ego has echoes of other voices as well. Your parents and other elders, your community norms, your perceived in-groups, such as your religion or political tribe, social media, and the larger society in general. All these must be stilled, at least for a moment, for you to be able to hear the small, still voice for God. The single most powerful tool to making real spiritual progress is to spend some time each day in stillness, listening for the voice for God. If you never listen, your ordinary world, the illusion, is all that you will ever have.